A routine bust in an industrial
sharp.
giant was about
We
to
are
become a
not
war zone.
Not alone.
Deep inside, every shadow held a potential threat. Every step,
With the slam of a door, their only way out vanished. The hunt had begun. Experience told him what instinct feared. This was not a raid, it was a trap. They were not just outnumbered, they were surrounded by an organized, silent army. Ilara saw the impossible odds. The mission objective had just changed to survival. Trapped and exposed, all they had was each other against the closing darkness. Red lasers sliced through the gloom, turning them into targets in a shooting gallery. Cut
This
off
is
from the
Rourke.
world, no backup, no way
Is anyone
out,
out there? Come
just
in.
the static of their fate. The lines were drawn. They braced for the inevitable, unending assault. While they hid, Ilara the tactician was already mapping their path to survival. The rookie's hands trembled, but his gaze was steady. He would not break. In a silent nod, the veteran passed his strength on. They would stand together. Outside, the predators circled relentlessly, a constant, oppressive presence in the dark. In the distorted reflection, she saw them coming. Every tool was now a weapon. With old steel and silent resolve, they built their first line of defense. The only sound was a single drop of water, each one an eternity of suspense. A worn photograph, a powerful reminder of what was worth fighting for. An old blueprint was found. It was a map
Here's
of
what we're
their
looking
prison, or their escape.
We don't have much time.
Her finger traced a path not through walls, but within them, a desperate gambit. Rourke saw the risk, but he also saw the chance. He trusted her instincts. Together, they raised her towards their only hope, a dark, narrow passage above. With steady hands and bated breath, she worked to open their hidden path. A sudden sound from the darkness. They were no longer alone in the shadows. Above them, Ilara froze. A single mistake would doom them all. The enemy passed by, oblivious to the prey hiding in plain sight. A silent command, a seamless retreat. Their discipline was their greatest weapon. The path was clear. She disappeared into the darkness, carrying their hopes with her. Crawling through the guts of the building, dust and darkness her only companions. They could only wait and listen, their fate now resting in Ilara's hands. Above the
you sure no one followed us?
unsuspecting enemy, she was a ghost.
Are you sure no one followed
gathering
us?
their secrets.
This place is secure.
An old fire extinguisher on the wall. In Rourke's mind, a new plan took shape. With a silent gesture, Rourke outlined the diversion. It was time to fight smarter. Calum took his position. The bait for the new trap was now set. She returned not with a way out, but a way up. A rope descended from above. A clang of metal echoed in the hall, the perfect lure for their hunters. With the enemy distracted, Calum climbed, escaping the ground floor battlefield. The commander was the last
This
to
way.
ascend, leaving the darkness of the ground floor behind. They found only silence where the sound had been. Their prey had become ghosts. An old security monitor flickered to life. Suddenly, the hunters could be watched. For the first time, they saw
move at
their
dawn.
true
No
enemy,
exceptions.
the serpent in the maze. On the screen,
can hit them from here.
Alara found the flaw
Their flank
in
is
their
exposed.
formation,
Agreed.
the key to their plan.
It's our best shot.
Their eyes saw everything, but their magazines were nearly empty. The new strategy was clear. They would fight with their minds, not their muscle. The factory's old bones would become their weapon. A complex trap was being set. She rewired the past, giving them remote control over a heavy steel door. The enemy was on the move again, preparing for
Get
a
ready.
full-scale final assault. The rookie's eyes were sharp. He gave the warning. The enemy was coming. He held the rope, the fate of the next few seconds resting in his hands. The enemy's vanguard stepped forward, walking blindly into the heart of the trap. The first trap sprung. A heavy cargo net falls, blocking the enemy's advance. The steel door crashed down, dividing their forces and creating a choke point. Smoke filled the corridor, blinding the enemy and sowing chaos in their ranks. They used the chaos to their advantage, retreating to a better defensive position. The enemy escalated their assault, brute force against their tactical precision. Dust couldn't extinguish the fire of defiance burning in the veteran's eyes. Amidst the chaos, her movements were fluid and precise, a warrior in her element. The enemy swarmed the stairs, a relentless tide of violence threatening to overwhelm. A heavy steel table became their last shield against the incoming storm of bullets. She
This way,
spotted
hurry,
one
go, go,
last
go!
path, a narrow gap, their only way forward. They moved through the passage, sparks
pushing.
flying as bullets ricocheted around them.
Almost there.
The boiler room, the end of the line. Here, they would make their final stand. In the center of the room, they prepared for the final, desperate battle. She had one last, desperate idea. A weapon made of steam and pressure. The enemy poured in from all sides, confident their victory was at hand.
Stay
They
alert.
fought with everything left, buying the final, crucial seconds for Ilara's plan.
Cover me.
With her signal, they took cover, placing their very lives in her hands. She released the pressure, engulfing the entire room in a blinding, scalding cloud. Within the white cloud, screams echoed and then faded into an eerie silence. The steam cleared to reveal an empty room. They had survived the impossible. In the silence, a new sound emerged. The cavalry was finally coming. Wounded and exhausted, but alive, they had survived the longest night. 3 different faces, but one shared truth. They had faced death and emerged stronger. The dawn broke, washing away the darkness. A new day had been earned. The siege was over. but the story of their impossible stand would live forever.